I was working the night shift at a mall in New Jersey around 2 a.m. The mall was completely deserted except for a few janitors finishing up. I had to check the stores to make sure they were locked. I walked past a store with large mirrors and felt an uneasy chill as I glanced at the reflection. At first, I thought I saw something move, but when I turned around, there was no one there. I tried to brush it off, but as I kept walking, I heard footsteps behind me. Every time I stopped, the footsteps stopped. I turned to check, and again, there was no one. As I walked faster toward the security office, I saw in the reflection of another store's mirror a shadowy figure standing behind me, but when I turned, nothing was there. I ran back to the security office and stayed there until my shift ended. The next day, I asked one of the managers about it, and they told me that a woman had been murdered in that store years ago, and strange things like this had been happening ever since. Some employees even claimed to hear whispers or see things moving when they were alone on the floor at night. This happened to me when I was shopping at a mall in London late one evening, around closing time. The mall was almost empty, and I was one of the few customers still on the top floor. I walked toward the restrooms when I suddenly felt an intense cold breath on the back of my neck, making me freeze. I turned quickly, but there was no one around. At first, I thought I was just being paranoid, but then I felt it again, the unmistakable feeling of someone standing very close to me, almost breathing on my ear. I quickly turned, but no one was there. I rushed out of the area, but I bumped into a store worker who looked visibly uncomfortable. She whispered, "You shouldn't go near the bathrooms alone. That place is haunted." I was shocked when she explained that several reports had been made about strange occurrences near that area. People heard whispers, footsteps, and even saw figures standing in the hallway when no one was supposed to be there. She mentioned a particular incident where a person had disappeared for a while, and when they were found, they were visibly shaken and couldn't explain what had happened. I worked the night shift at a mall in Miami. The elevators had been acting strange for a week. Sometimes they wouldn't stop on the right floor, or the doors would open without anyone inside. One evening, while I was cleaning the main floor, I noticed that the elevator doors on the top floor opened by themselves. There was no one around, so I assumed it was just a glitch. But when I walked over to close the doors, I felt a cold hand touch my shoulder from behind. I spun around, expecting to see someone, but there was no one there. My heart started racing as I stepped into the elevator to check it, and as soon as I did, I heard a woman's voice whispering my name. I quickly ran out of the elevator and decided to leave for the night. But when I turned to exit, the elevator doors opened and closed again, as if it were trying to get my attention. I tried to leave through the main exit, but every time I turned back to look, the elevator doors would reopen. The next day, I found out that the elevator had been in that spot for years and had been part of a previous renovation, where a worker had allegedly died in a mysterious accident while working on it. Many employees had reported strange things happening with the elevator, but no one dared to speak about it openly.